Hello and welcome to a special episode of the Black Dog Sports Podcast. We are having another From the Dog's Mouth with former leader of the D Block, Deljuan Robinson. Now, normally I go around all the different guys and see where their minds are at, but we've kind of already did that for the McCray Show. So I am going to hand things off to Mr. Jeremiah Short, my close personal friend, to go ahead and take over this interview. Jeremy, what's up?
No, man, I just want to introduce Deljuan I say Robinson's, I'm messing up. But he has the distinction right now of being the highest rated player to ever come to Mississippi State, to ever commit and sign with Mississippi State, according to 247.com. So just want to introduce him to the people. And Deljuan, just tell us how you feeling, man.
Well, feeling pretty good right now. Just honored to be a guest among these great journalists right here. Man, just trying to stay safe and just enjoy my time with my family right now.
So first, I'm gonna start. How does it feel to have that distinction to be the highest rated player to ever come to Mississippi State?
It feels good in a way, but at the end of the day, it's just like any other sports ranking, man. It's just some stars or some numbers on a sheet of paper, man. If you don't produce, you get labeled as a bust, overrated or whatnot. And so at the end of the day, as a personal note, I feel good about it. But at the end of the day, but did I really produce? Or was I labeled a bust? Or did I live up to the hype? And as an athlete, that's always in the back of your mind. Did you live up to the hype? Was I considered a bust or whatnot? But at the end of the day, did I go out and do my very best? And I think I did.
All right, so let's talk about that time just coming to Mississippi State. You kind of got delayed by a year. So just talk about that process that the people that don't know that you kind of took. I mean, since you came in with me and AJ, all of us came in 2003, that process of having to take a full year off before getting to play football.
Well, yeah, I originally signed at Mississippi State. I was class of 2002. I had a little minor setback. I had open heart surgery. And honestly, guys, it was I was labeled to never play football again. Going to sit out a year and being able to go back and to be able to compete and actually play college football and not only college football, but to be able to, playing on the national football level, it was a blessing. And it was a tough time, actually, because, I went from being a high school, pretty good player from high school, then, they're telling me I never better play football again. And, that was just for me personally, just to be able to play again was a big compliment for me.
So talk about being able to get out there in that field first. It's kind of crazy how you went from being in high school. I guess you were labeled as a linebacker. I don't know what y'all schematics were for the team. It seems like you were a pretty big linebacker, but how did it go from when you were a linebacker in high school and you come to college and now you're a strong side, 290-pound strong side defensive end?
Well, y'all know in high school, man, you just put your so-called best athletes in a place to make plays. Mm-hmm. And I was fortunate enough. I was a big guy. I could run. I could move. But honestly, I was a defensive lineman from day one. But the coach let me kind of have free reins to let me run around, do what I wanted to do. But man, I knew it was a short term linebacker, because like the first day at Mississippi State, I was in the linebackers room early that morning, and by the time the second practice rolled around, I was in there with the defensive lineman.
But how big were you at that time when you was in the linebacker room?
Man, I was about I was still about 290, and but when they recruit you, when you being recruited, they're gonna tell you everything you want to hear. Hey, you're gonna play this, you're gonna play that, because they got to tell a kid that to get them there. And I will give them this. They lived up. They gave me their word. They said they're gonna give me a shot. Hey, that morning I was in the linebacker room. That evening I was in the defense lineman room. And they give you that spiel. Hey, look, this was best for the team, and we also believe this was best for your future. For you to put your hand in the dirt. And honestly, that was the best thing for me ever to do, to put my hand in the dirt.
Now, did you kind of look around while you was in the linebacker room? I think at that time, what was it, Marvin Birdsong? He was pretty stout, 240. And then I'm trying to remember who I was at linebacker around that time, but the guys weren't no bigger than 230, 240. And you're looking around like, man, what I'm doing here?
Bird was the biggest backer, considered BD, Brandon Downing, but he had some medical issues going on, those two guys were the bigger linebackers, or what we call the Mike linebackers. Of course, you guys know what a Mike backer is. Man, like I said, I knew I wasn't gonna play backer, but they had to sell me on it. They had the so-called, "Hey, look, we did give you the opportunity." Like I say, there was just one meeting. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, there was no way. And Bird eventually moved to defensive line before he transferred out. So anytime you get a backer more than 240, he got to be rolling, or he got to be very unique to play that heavy standing up.
So just talk about that first year being able to, like, a year off of, like, not being able to. How long did it take before you could do any type of football activities after the surgery?
Well, I had the surgery August the 6th, 2002. August the 6th, 2003, I was in training camp. And doing the summer workouts, I was very nervous, very timid. I haven't been lifting weights or anything of that nature. I remember this very vividly. The first time, like, we was in the weight room, you get broke up by positions. All the defensive linemen over here or whatnot. So, man, I'm in there first time in the weight room. And I think it was like me, Derek Hampton, Corey Clark, just more freshmen, right? And so the first set, they put like 225 on the bar. I'm like, I'll bet, So, first set rolled around, I think like 7-10. I hit my 10. And so the next set rolled around, I'm thinking they're going to put a 10 or a 5 on there, go from 225 to 235. A guy like Corey Clark, and, hey, he said, hey, put a quarter on there. I was like, put a quarter on there? Like, man, that's 275, for reps of 10. So Big Corey put a quarter on there, and they knocked it out. I'm like, no, I'm going to stay at that 225 because, Coach said take it easy. So in the third set, he said, hey, look, hey, put another Cadillac on there. I was like, put a Cadillac on there? Hey, we maxing out? What we doing? So, they went for 315 for 10 reps. I said, I think I called home that night. And I told my older brother, I said, hey, I ain't going to make it. I said, I ain't going to make it. I actually wind up going with the linebackers and some DBs just to finish my reps out because I couldn't hang with those guys in the weight room. I have never been a weight room guy. So I during the summer, I was like, I'm not going to make it. I'm not strong as these guys.
Well, the people who probably, I guess, going to be watching this, they probably don't understand that Corey Clark, then y'all both come in at the same time. So he was a freshman doing all that. So
ain't no doubt about it. And at the time, we were freshmen, so I was in the group of freshmen. But you had guys like Ronald Fields, Tommy Kelly, that was upperclassmen. And needless to say, both of those guys went on to play, have successful NFL careers. And I was like, okay, I can't even do, 275 for 10 reps. Ain't no way I'm going to be able to play with these guys. So, my whole mentality was off my freshman year. But all that changed when we put the pads on, because at the end of the day, you can be what we call a weight room guy or a combine guy. You can run fast, you can jump high, lift all the weights. But at the end of the day, what you gonna do? You can put the headgear on, and that's where I had the advantage over some guys. I was just a football player.
You was country strong.
Yeah, you can call it that or what you want to call it, but it's the survival of the fittest out there, and it's the mentality. And as you say, country strong. I'm the youngest out of 4 boys. I grew up poor dirt, so hard work was nothing for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So let's fast forward a little bit through, I guess, that first year. I mean, probably one of the most fun years as far as winning wise. So talk about, like, Coach Sherrill getting fired and how. I mean, since he was your coach for 2 years, not just one, because you went through that whole process for a year. Like, what did y'all think when y'all heard the news? Did y'all knew it was something that was not fired? I think he retired or something to that effect.
Well, he resigned, but they pretty much told him, hey, look, guys of that nature that been at a school for more than a decade, they're gonna try to do them right. They're going to give them an opportunity to walk out the door with a sense of pride or whatnot, as in resign or whatnot. But the real reason, from my point of view, and I'll say this, and I think it's publicly known, Coach Sherrill had a lot of allegations, hearsay, what was going on and whatnot. And he actually just here recently won a lawsuit against NC2A or whatnot. So, he resigned or whatnot. But to answer your question, man, when a guy recruits you, tell you, hey, look, you're going to be playing for me or whatnot, when he tell you he ain't going to be there no more, first thing come to your mind, shit, man, I came here because of you. you know, and now you going, a lot of guys will jump ship, and you see that now more days with this so-called transfer portal or whatnot. It's nothing for a kid to, hey, I'm out of here. And they doing it now, week one, middle of the season, last day, you know, they getting out of there. They're not wasting time. Back when I was coming through, you know, you had to fear, oh man, I gotta sit out a year, and that kept guys there. They like, well, I don't want to lose a year. I don't want to burn a year, you know, because I'm on the clock, you know. But nowadays, it's nothing for a kid to transfer. But it was very tough because, you know, when a new coach come in, you got to prove yourself all over again. And let's be honest, some guys come in on a coach, he can do no wrong. He gonna play regardless, whether he's good or not. And so a guy like me that has found favor in these coaches, I'm like, damn, now I got to prove myself all over again. So coaching change is big for a program because a lot of kids are afraid that they're gonna lose whatever connection they had or little spot they had or whatnot.
So Coach Kroom gets hired, and of course he gets hired. First, I'm gonna ask, like, what was your initial impression of him? And then there's a story I heard about when he first came in. Even when I was on campus, they said Kroom first came in. He said a lot of y'all came in on package deals, and I'm gonna package some of y'all leap on out of here. So there first, I don't know how true that is.
I'll say this, Kroom, first when I heard he was getting hired, I was excited. One, because he was African American, and in high school I played for a black coach, and so I was like, well, man, hey, look, I feel good about this hire. And but Kroom came in with a no nonsense deal. You know, it's very known that he was a guy that he do it the old school way. He didn't like the flashes stuff or whatnot. I think he was a fan of the Russell brand. And when we wrote Russell for a couple of years or whatnot, he was a plain Jane type of guy. You know, Kroom was a hardcore guy. Honestly, I respect him as a man. You know, he taught me a lot, but as a football coach, I beg to differ on the things that he did. You know what I mean? But as a man, I really respect him. He taught me a lot, but as a football coach, you know, I have some questionable things that he did or whatnot.
I don't know if anybody else want to add anything. I know the next question I was going to ask about some of the things I guess you kind of alluded to. One of the most, I'm going to say, controversial things he did. When he first came in, there was a lot of guys that were kicked off the team. You talk about Bird had his issues with him. Nick Turner, that pool,
Donovan Davis, a good friend of mine.
Several highly rated guys. Can you just tell us what was going on with that not just guys getting kicked off the team, you're talking about highly rated, highly decorated players from...
Well, you know, I'm not going to speak on anybody else's situation. I will say this. Sylvester Kroom, I believe he only really kicked off one or two players. Everybody else left on their own, as in he ran them off, as in, hey, look, this is the way we're going to do it. If you can't do it this way, hey, there go the door. So everybody's situation was different. Remember what I told you, when a new coach come in, you know, you got to prove yourself over. Or, you know, with me coming in, you know, if a guy didn't recruit you, like I said, like, for example, I stay out of these type of conversations, but Nick Fitzgerald, the quarterback, could do no wrong in Moorhead eyes, seem like, right?
I'm so glad Ricardo not on this show right now.
Oh, boy.
So what I'm saying is, when a coach come in, he want his guys, or he want guys do it their way. And so those guys left for whatever reasons. I'm not going to just get into a lot of those things, but you know, I will say this, they did not want to they didn't want to commit to the way that Coach Kroom wants to go.
All right. I don't know if anybody else got anything. I was going to go a different direction unless y'all wanted to add something.
Well, I was going to say, like, you know, what would you say were the two biggest differences in the way Coach Sherrill did things and the way Coach Kroom did things?
Coach Sherrill was a player's coach. He told you what he wanted and how he expect you to get it done. He was not gonna babysit you. You know, if you did it, you did. If you didn't, you didn't. Coach Kroom, hey, look, this is the way we're gonna do it. Even if I have to walk you to class, even if I have to, you know, assign somebody to you to do things or whatnot. You know, he was a hands-on type of guy. Coach Sherrill was like, hey, man, it's your choice. Get it done. Some people knock him on that or whatnot. But at the end of the day, you know, different coaches' philosophy or whatnot, you know, I'll never say nothing bad about Coach Sherrill. You know what I mean? Was he a good coach? I think he was. Did he lose reigns?
Oh.
Yep. I got a little lag. You still there, Deljuan?
All right, we ran into some technical difficulties, but Deljuan, go ahead and pick up where you left off.
Well, I have no clue what we was talking about, what the question was. I was just really just
I-
ranting on and whatnot. But so just proceed with another question.
Well, I was
Alright,
asking
so-
the two difference between Sherrill and Kroon. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, well, yeah. So what I was saying, basically, Coach Sherrill, he was not a, he was a guy actually to do something.
What the heck is that? Okay, Deljuan. So I had a question. You were saying about how you agreed with a lot of the things that Kroon did as a man, but sometimes coaching-wise, there were some things that you disagreed on. Now, you talking about things like, say, schematically, when it came to like the West Coast offense and all that type of jazz, or what?
Well, you got to think about it. He was coming from the National Football League, and he was asking us to do things, run a pro style offense or whatever he called it or whatnot. And as everybody know, I mean, you got to do what your talent can do. You got to adjust your scheme to the personnel you got. And I don't think he did a good job of that. At the end of the day, I love Mike Hennon to death. I love Cal York. I love all these other guys that play quarterback. I love Omar Corner. But at the end of the day, you got to do what your talent can do. You know what I mean? I don't think we did what our talent can do. You know what I mean? As far as offensively, you know what I mean? Defensively, I thought we had a pretty good group. I'm going to say that because I played defense. But with the defense we had, we should have been more than a 3-win team.
Okay,
I agree with
I
you there because y'all had some offensive talent, a lot of offensive talent on that team that I feel kind of was wasted because he did not play to their strengths.
Mm-hmm.
So multiple NFL guys off them teams, right?
No doubt about it. Your prime example is when we played Florida. We had Omar starting at quarterback, and if you go back and if you break that film down, it was 70% of the time he was in the gun. So for whatever reason, they say, hey, look, let's do something he's used to. Let's do something that he's more comfortable with. And at the end of the day, yeah, they rushed for a lot of yards with no wood that game, but they let Omar move around and they let him get on the edges and things and whatnot. They played to his strength or whatnot. You can't ask a guy like that to stand in the pocket or whatnot. I'm not saying he can't do it, but, that's like asking me to stand up and play linebacker on the college level. I can't run with the guy down seam. I can't get vertical, with the number 3 receiver, and he run. That's not gonna happen on the college level. You know what I mean? So anyway, I don't think he adjusted to his talent. Bottom line.
Do you think that Mississippi State fans will never probably understand how good Omar was? Like, I'm from that area. I'm originally from Knoxville, and I know how good Omar was at the high school level. Do you think fans will probably never truly understand because he didn't get to play in a system that really fit his talents?
No doubt about it. I played against Omar Corner in high school. I can say this. I was one of the few guys that go down there and beat them. Omar Corner was one of the most talented guys I ever seen on the high school level and the college level. But the thing about it is we did not do what he does best, and it's move him around and let him make plays with his legs, not running him. I'm talking about simply moving the pocket with him, giving him more options. Simple as that, because he's an athlete. You know what I mean? To me, I'm gonna be an Omar Corner regardless. Yeah, we homeboys. Yeah, I'm talking about the football player though. The kid was a football player.
Mm-hmm. So I don't mean to bring up some negative from that second year he was with at Mississippi State, but some fans often talk about from that year is the main game. Now I know they don't bring it up for former players because people know they get mad, but how did y'all really feel after losing that game? Obviously, naturally this is a little embarrassing, but at the same time, the main game.
Look, guys, I can tell you all this. I'm older now. I'm mature now. I can say this and be honest about it. We was not a very good football team, period. We were not a good football team. And so, therefore, At the end of the day, I can talk about the offense all day, but you think about it, they went on a 2-minute drill to take the ball down the field and score. So that was on the defense. At the end of the day, the offense go in and score, the ball hit the pylon, and we get it back to them. Well, we say, hey, it should have been a touchdown, yada, yada, yada. At the end of the day, we was winning, and they went on a 2-minute drive. Here, they went down and scored. We was not a very good football team. So, we talked about how good we were on defense. If we got 4 defensive linemen, we should go get the quarterback. If we got some good DBs there, we ought to shut them down. We weren't a very good football team. So it's not it's a fact. It's not a low point or whatnot or embarrassing moment. We want a good football team. And that's why, call me out on this if you catch me in a lie. I don't comment on a lot of these topics that y'all have. I don't criticize the players that is at Mississippi State now, because we was awful. So therefore, I'm not gonna go back. I'll make comments as far as the game, but me criticizing the player, I have never did that. And please call me out if y'all have saw me do that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I like that point of view, and that is why this is called From the Dog's Mouth. You hear from a dog's mouth how he addresses things.
Yeah. So like I say, but we want a very good football team. We have some good individual players, but like I say, 11 across the board on offense, defense, we weren't very good.
Well, I guess one unit that was really good was I don't know, did you coin the term D-block? When did you come up with that?
No, I mean, that's been around before I got there. It was almost like an initiation. You had guys like Ronald Fields, Tommy Kelly, and whatnot. If we was gonna call ourselves, we had to get branded pretty much. They had some little locker room scuffles in there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we took pride in it, though. At the end of the day, we was the best unit on the team, I believe. And we had to get. You just couldn't call yourself that. You know what I mean?
So, do you think it's kind of crazy now? Obviously, the team's a little better now. So, obviously, a unit like yours, it gets a little bit more shine now. Now that seeming from 2009 to 2019, I even saw a post from Mississippi State's web page or Hale State. They call Mississippi State D-Line U now because of Fletcher Cox and Chris Jones and Preston Smith and McPhee, all them guys. So it's kind of, do you proud that you see them guys kind of carrying on that legacy now?
Man, those are some good players. Those kids can play. They can get after the quarterback. They can play. But I'll tell you this: I'm not knocking those guys. But if we played on a 9-win, 8-win team for consecutive years, I believe I wouldn't have been an undrafted free agent. I believe guys like Willie Evans led the SEC in sacks. But you know why he really didn't get a lot of recognition, or he didn't, get the pub or whatnot? He wasn't a company guy, if you get my drift. You know what I mean? But you can't tell me. So that's nothing new. Like say, Willie led the league in sacks one year. Then you come back, you have guys like me and Powell, Michael Hurd that play solid. But we're on a 3-win team. We're not going to get the recognition. I can vividly remember playing Arkansas one year or Auburn one year, that we shut the run game down. But you're like, well, damn, how you shut the run game down and they still put up 30-plus points? Well, if you going 3 and out on offense, now the numbers on defense, we went from, on defense, you want to hold a team to 50 plays or less. Man, we getting 80 snaps on defense. I don't care who you got over there. You getting the team 80 snaps. They gonna drive the field. They gonna make productive plays. But that's your question. The D block has been a tradition at Mississippi State. Those kids play their butts off, and they were rewarded. They're dominating on Sundays now. And hey, all I can say is I'm happy for them. You know what I mean? They getting paid and they represent, so they playing very well.
Mm-hmm. AJ, you had a question?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I had a question. Now in the Black Dogs Matter group, we have a lot of fans who are from Starkville, Mississippi. And you talked about a lot of the players that you played with while you were at Mississippi State. You talked about Willie Evans and the things that he did, and Birdsong and Hurd and the rest of those guys, and Omar Connor, who I feel as though, I swear to God, I think that if he had played under Mullen, there's no telling what he would have did. But that's neither here nor there. So I want you to tell me about a particular Starkville native named Will Prosser, and how would things have been different had they got the ball into his hands?
If they got the ball in his hands?
Yes, in Will Prosser's hands.
Well, I feel like it's a trap question. But listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Will Prosper was a good player, and I'll tell you why. He knew the playbook, and he knew what to do. As in, on the college level, believe it or not, guys get on the field because they know what to do. So if he can process the information, you got to go with the guy who know what he's doing. And I'm not saying nobody else know what they're doing, but if they gonna if they got a package or whatnot, or they got some plays called, you can't play a guy if you don't know what they're doing or know what he's doing. If I'm not mistaken, Will went to private school, correct?
Right, Starkville Academy, if I'm not mistaken.
So
he was a beast at Starkville Academy too.
Well, I'll say it is. That means he's a pretty, somewhat intelligent guy, correct?
Yes.
So what I'm saying is, he knew what to do. He could line up. He could go play. As in, he knew the playbook. But you know, at the end of the day, remember what I said. We were not a very good football team. I'm not gonna get on those receivers because I didn't like none of them. To be honest with you, you know. I'm just saying. I mean, like for example, people would not. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. A guy like Tony Burks came to Mississippi State as a highly recruited JUCO guy. Did he not?
Great.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. If you notice, that first year he did not do anything correct, far as live up to the hype. Correct.
No.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you that now that next year he came back and had a pretty good year. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And you know why? You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. And people are calling me out on this, but they're not, because this is the truth. Me and Andrew Powell and some rest of some defense linemen, we roughed him up, we dogged him out, and told him, hey, look, if you're supposed to be this good, you need to be this good. Anyway, we thought Tony was soft. We really did. We thought it was soft. But anyway, we kind of took him on our wing and we roughed him up a little bit, gave him a little edge about himself, and he went and played his butt off. Now, I'm going to take credit for that. I really am. Me and some other defense linemen. But people may have a different point of view. But I can tell you this: we did not cut that sucker no slack, because he came in with all this hype. And I'm like, wait, we ain't seeing it. What's up? We ain't seeing it.
Maybe we needed that this year team.
Yeah, with
Sir Drop come out of retirement and do that.
Sir Drop a lot. Who was he?
But look, let me tell y'all this. This story about Anthony Dixon's Booby, whatever y'all want to call him. Booby came in with a lot of hype. And he talked so much trash. We knew the kid was going to be good. But I can promise you this. We dogged him out every chance we got, because we knew he had it in him and he was going to be a good football player. But the problem was he played on a soft offense. His offensive linemen, they were soft. So, therefore, we had to toughen him up until – this is what we did. Because this is what we did in our room. We called ourselves tough guys. You know what I mean? We didn't take no crap. So, we tried to – rub that off on some of the offensive players, you know what I mean? And we believe he turned into a pretty good player, because we didn't show that sucker no love, because we knew he was going to be good, but we couldn't let him settle for the mediocrity that they had on offense.
Man, that's nothing but leadership, though. Like seriously, if just being a coach now, I see it all the time. We try to tell the kids how to lead and everything. And all they do is say, come on, man. I'm like, dude, that's not leading. Come in, let me show you what it is to be a leader. And sometimes you can't teach it. Like it's in some people. It's some people to be a leader. Like you said, y'all came together, took it upon yourselves to grab these guys and like, look, this is what you need to be doing. But instead of just fussing at somebody, because, you'll see that probably on every level. You would think, being a leader is just fussing at somebody. That's not always the case. Sometimes you got to get in there and get dirty with them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And especially, we didn't like offense because the coach was the offensive coach.
Yeah.
And they was the weak link. And so, therefore, every chance we got, we tried to dog him out or whatnot. And when I say dog him out, just toughen him up a little bit outside of practice and things and whatnot, just because, we felt like they were the weak link. That's what we felt like, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, guys. If y'all don't mind,
Okay.
Don't throw my question out there. So I'm watching high school football. Was that you? on the field. I'm watching high school football championships on TV. Was that you out there?
Officiating?
Yes.
Yes.
Dude, I tried to hit your inbox and everything. I said, I'm telling y'all. I said, I know this dude, and I think that's Deljuan out there. But like I said, I was seeing you. I wasn't at the game. I was watching it on my computer. And I said, man, I promise you they look like Deljuan. Is that like something you're trying to pursue?
Man, as y'all know, I'm a football guy. I tried to coaching. I coached high school. I coached junior college football. Coaching is not for me. And one reason it's not for me, because I had a coach tell me when I first got in, he said, you're coaching these kids like you're coaching yourself. They're not going to be as dedicated and they're not going to be a student of the game like you. So I was having a hard time my first year at junior college coaching. I was a rah-rah guy. I was expecting them to, work hard and do all these things, but it wasn't translating to them because I had a hard time. I was like, dude, nobody like losing. I've been on that side and trying to give back some knowledge to the kids. So coaching went for me, and I let them talk me into officiating. And at first year, I did it just because, and then I started liking it. I'm going on year 6, I believe. I've been on the high school level. I did some college stuff, and I've been through some NFL officiating camps. The only thing I don't want to pursue is I don't really want to pursue it on the college level because I don't want to be as dedicated to it because, as you know, they will rip a ref ass when they get the call wrong. I don't want to be as dedicated to it because it's serious business. You know what I mean? And plus, it's during the fall. I like to hunt, and so I don't want to be as dedicated to it far as taking it up to another level. But yes, that was me. And Knox, we should have won the ball game, I believe.
All right. So kind of speaking to that post career transition, you played a couple years in the league. So since Kendrick, I guess you fast forward a little bit, so we kind of stick with that. Talk about that transition from playing in the NFL, essentially being a ball player your whole life. I don't know if you played Pee Wee or anything like that, but going from that to, I guess, I think you told me once you had to get a job. So how is that transition going from being an athlete your whole life to now you have to just be a regular, I don't want to say regular, but be back in just regular workforce?
Man, a lot of people envy football players in ways. A lot of people wish they could have did this and that. But I'm gonna tell you, man, that's a blessing and a curse to play on the levels that I played on, because the blessing is, you get education, you play on the highest level and things of that nature, and you got a little notoriety and things and whatnot. But the curse part is, man, you're not prepared for the real world when you get done. As in, here, do I know how to make a resume? Do I know how to go in for a job interview? I never had to do those type of things, because when you go to Mississippi, when you go to play college football in the Division I program, you got tutors, you got an academic advisor that got your books in a box waiting on you. You don't have to fill out no paperwork, no nothing. And now you have to learn how to adapt and doing shit people been doing all their lives. You know what I mean? And so, but for me, I come from a good family, man. Come from a hard working family. So for me, working hard and starting from ground zero, and I didn't start from ground zero. The NFL and college gave me a good head start. But what I'm saying is, man, it can be tough on guys. But for me, I was very blessed to never, do no crazy stuff, didn't have no bad habits, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. So therefore, it was an easy transition for me, far as just me adapting to the real world or whatnot. Right now I'm living my best life. Man, I'm married, I got kids, and that is the joy of my life right now. That's better than my playing career, is raising a family, man. And I got all girls, and I wanted a boy. I thought I wanted a boy, but from me being an official, I don't want to be that dad in the stands coaching his kid, or if my kid ain't living up to the hype. Like I like to be on suicide watch. So I'm glad I got girls. And as y'all know, I follow the women's team a lot just because I got girls. And hopefully one day they'll play sports, but that's something I'm not forcing on them and whatnot. But I want them to see them let them see women doing something productive as in athletic wise anyway.
Yeah, you got something?
I know Arthur got some. I mean, I know you got some. I don't know why you being so quiet. You the reason I get on Facebook every day.
You know what? I really don't have too much to say. The only thing I was gonna ask you about was well, I was thinking about number one, I saw you at the Ole Miss game, and wow, that is a really nice arena. You know, Mississippi State needs one like it. All right, that's the first thing. Second thing I wanted to ask you about is what you be hunting.
I hunt everything, man. Everything. Small game. I mean, rabbit, deer, squirrel, everything, man.
What about hog?
I hunt hogs too. I do it all. This is something also people can never say about me. I never changed it up. I was a country boy from day one. Going to Mississippi State, I'm a country boy now. I had never acted like I was more than anybody else. Y'all ain't never seen me stunned or whatever you want to call it. I ain't never been that type of guy.
I agree.
Well, I was, because I always said I like because I had posted one time about how I was like, man, I didn't know that Deljuan was the highest the recruit that we had at Mississippi State, and somebody was like, oh my God, are you trying to be shady towards him? I'm like, no, I'm like, Deljuan has never been anything other than polite to me. Why would I even do that? And I've always considered you be one of the best defensive linemen that we had, because I feel as though that your junior and senior year, you was just freaking lights out, and I had no idea why you didn't get drafted, but, whatever, that's neither here nor there.
Well, see, and that's another thing, man, that the comment I don't see. I'm gonna talk a little scheme wise right now. Man, you got a 3 technique and you got a nose guard. The 3 technique is the guy that's supposed to make all the plays.
Great.
He get a 2-way guy. He's supposed to be your more athletic guy. I was a 3 technique for those last 2 years somewhat, and then we start playing a flip flop, or we start kicking the front. You know what I mean? When you play a flip flop, the 3 always go to the strong side or the call side. So if I was supposed to be the most so-called better player or the most athletic or that dude, because that's what the 3 technique is supposed to be, but all of a sudden you go to the nose guard, that means you the guy they keep them all Quinn Covington and all that type of stuff. Well, other guys do that type of stuff, But anyway, like my senior year, I led the league in tackles for a loss until I hurt my knee. I had to get a meniscus. I sat out a game. I should have sat out more games than that. But I like we played Auburn that year. I think I had like 5.5 tackles for a loss, and that was the great Auburn or whatnot. I was on pace to have a pretty good year. But at the end of the day, all things work for the good, and everything happened for a reason. And that's why, when we first started out with that question about me being a high recruit, some people may label me as a bust, but I can make an excuse. I can say I come off a difficult surgery or heart surgery. I was looking to be playing ball or whatnot. At the end of the day, man, in my eyes, I had a successful career because I played to my ability. I played my butt off.
Here's the thing, though. I would say this. I mean, just speaking from a guy that's 5'6", and that had dreams of playing, football in college and everything like that. I played college baseball, but even playing baseball at another level. But the thing about it, you got a lot of people that dream of even trying out for college, and you dressed up and played on Sundays. So it's no way anybody can say Deljuan Robinson was a bust, man. Hey, man, great career. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Mississippi State Bulldog, we appreciate you, man. I would never say you was a bust because, like you said at the beginning, stars, I think they mean something, but they don't mean everything.
Mm-hmm.
They mean something, but they don't mean everything. But, that's high school, so, but it's just telling you, what kind of way you are. But like you said, man, you went through so much adversity with, health-wise. It's an amazing story. You played in the NFL, man. How in the world are you a bust? You know what I'm saying? So, I personally, I don't subscribe to that.
Well, you can put us to the people who call you a bust and let us show them. Nah, he wasn't no bust, because the only busting you might have been associated with was busting people head on that football field.
Well,
definitely.
I'll say this too. Like, if you look at his number as compared to some of our other highly rated D tackles, we had Chris Jones, Fletcher Cox. Look at those guys' college numbers. They weren't. Fletcher Cox got hot by 5 games, but if you look at their college numbers, they weren't. Nothing. I don't think either I think Fletcher might have been all SEC one year, but neither one of them was dominant in that way. So if you're comparing college careers, it's fairly comfortable. I'll say that much. But
and we talking about that. You guys also got to realize this. Those guys played at a stretch with Mississippi State was playing some of the best football ever.
mm-hmm.
And with that being said, now with the social media and the marketing going on, Mississippi State jumping on those guys bandwagon. They jumping on their coattail to try to recruit or things and whatnot. So when McPhee was in school, they did not pub McPhee. They did not push McPhee. And had McPhee going on year 10 or something in the National Football League. Oh. But now all of a sudden they want to put McPhee on their graphics because he's been in the league for those many years and been playing high. But when McPhee came in, he came in with a lot of baggage, dreads, and all that or whatnot. Mm. Why they didn't have him on the poster then? Why they didn't have him? You know what I mean? Things of that nature. But now, that's another story. That's another topic or whatnot. But what I'm saying is, these guys leave there and they want to put them on graphics and things or whatnot. So you telling me when Banks and Slay was in school, nobody knew who Slay was.
Don't get me started on that.
That's what I'm saying. But now all of a sudden Slay on every graphic, and that's no knock against Banks. But at the end of the day, those guys are football players. You know what I mean? And so that's where all that star stuff come in. That's why it don't really matter. You know what I mean?
If somebody had a chance to work a little bit on that side, and I know how it can be. I done seen guys who really weren't that good. And I think I remember when I first came out here to Texas, and there was a kid at a camp, and I went and looked up his star rating, and he was like a 5. So I was like, I don't know about that. He was like 5'5", 150 pounds. Like, how is he 5 stars? Like, that don't logically make sense. I know size ain't everything. But just from what I saw, I don't see. But I saw he was all buddy, but went on the scouting guys, one of the top guys. So, that's just what it is. Sometimes it's about relationships. But I get what you're saying when it comes to that, because even myself, I kind of hated how, and I actually told some of my friends who played at State, I told them, like, hey, Slay going to go before Banks in the draft. And, of course, everybody's like, oh, that's crazy. I'm like, he going to go before him in the draft because even though he didn't start that previous year, you can see his ability level. Mm-hmm. And he did. And obviously we see what he's doing in the league now, even though Matt Patricia doesn't think he's elite, but sure.
Matt going to be looking for a job come next year.
Right. He ain't never going to be no elite coach in the NFL. Like, how you going to down your starting all-pro cornerback? This don't make sense.
Because he don't realize he's not Bill Belichick. That's why. I think
that's most of it.
On that level, on that level is all business also. And that's just like what's happening with the Texans right now. They trade away guys that they can't control. You know what I mean? But you got to think about when a player make more money than the coach. You know what I mean? The player got the juice, so they got to get rid of the bad apples or whatnot, guys they can't control in the locker room or whatnot, because that bleed off on other players. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's so say what happened when Kroon first get there. A lot of guys have a lot of influence over other guys, so you got to find a way to get that guy out of there.
Mm-hmm.
But
maybe not every 4-star though.
None of us have. You brought up the NFL. None of us have. Well, I haven't been in an NFL locker room. I know none of us has ever suited up, in the NFL. How was that experience?
Once again, it was a blessing and a curse. The blessing is, hey, you made it to the National Football League. The blessing is you playing on Sundays. I like to tell people, hey, I did what a lot of people couldn't do. I ran out to smoke. But man, I don't like to talk about my NFL career because it was miserable. It was horrible. One, because I was an undrafted free agent, and I had to come in, coming from being a 4-year starter, and now you're at the bottom of the barrel. That wasn't my issue. Your issue is they treat you like shit. You know what I mean? That's fine. It's nothing wrong with getting out the mud. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with grinding. But that's a business level. I came in with defensive lineman. I love him to death. That's my boy. I'm Mobile Koye, top 10 pick. He top 10 pick. I'm undrafted free agent. But at the end of the day, I'm playing better than him. But they got to justify why an undrafted guy is playing better than a $10 million signing bonus guy. So there's nothing I could do I could play my lights out. Ain't no way I'm going to get the playing time or whatnot. But so talking about the NFL playing career, man, I don't like to talk about it, because, man, I tell the story sometimes. I don't like to really talk about it. But, man, I was playing some good football in 08. And, man, they came and said, hey, look now, y'all football guys, y'all claim to be football guys, okay? So I'm going to put your knowledge to the test. We playing the coach, right? Peyton Manning when he on top of his game. So what they like to do? Throw the football, right? All right, coach, here you go. I'm going to put you on the spot. You bring 5 DBs in the game. What you call that package? You don't have to give me the correct name, but just a regular what? 5
Nickel.
That's
Nickel
package. That's universal. That's Pee Wee football, right? So coach, defense coordinator come in. He said, hey, look, we're going to play these guys in big nickel the whole game. I'm like, shit, bet. I'm like, okay, that mean defensive linemen, that mean we probably going to get no snaps. They're going to bring in what? More DBs, bring a DB in for a linebacker, and he'll probably put a linebacker on defensive line maybe. I don't know, because we playing nickel the whole game, right? So this was the catch. I was the big nickel guy. I'm like, so, fuck you mean, coach? That's regular football. But now this is why I don't like talking about it. So they was going to bench Moby, the first round pick, put me in for nickel. You don't sub a defensive lineman for nickel. You know what I mean? Yeah, on third down, you bring in your edge rushers or whatnot. So what I'm saying is, once again, that's the business side of the league. So they couldn't tell the first round draft pick they're going to bench him. So they're going to start me, the undrafted guy, in for big nickel. Man, any coach in America knows that's not big nickel. That's nickel personnel, period. But the business side of it, hey, we're going to play big nickel.
Yeah.
We're going to replace you, but we're going to do it where it's going to, I guess, appease your ego a little bit.
Well, they couldn't tell me I was playing lights out. They couldn't rule with me. They can't tell me that because they can't hurt that guy's feelings. Or the GM can't. The GM can't. What are you going to say? Oh, the undrafted guy playing better than the first round draft.
You would think.
So that went on for 3 weeks in a row, man. I played lights out, playing well, starting. We ran big nickel 3 weeks in a row. And this is how. Now listen to this. Now this hurt my little feelings. The defense line coach came and told me that 4th week. He said, "Hey, look, Moby is ready to get his spot back." I said, "Okay, shit, coach, I'm just happy to be here." That's how he broke the news to me. He said,
ready to get his spot back.
Ready to get his spot back.
I mean, his agent called.
But like say though, guys, so a lot of guys may have a lot of different experiences and whatnot, but that ain't a good feeling that you're playing well and they can't give you the kudos. You go home doing training camp, don't know you're gonna be there or not. That ain't a good feeling. But guys like Chris Jones right now, Fletcher Cox, I'm happy for those guys because they Mississippians, and guess what? And man, they ain't got to worry about that crap. You know what I mean?
Right.
Here's the thing, though. You would think that with you being in the NFL, the goal is to win football games. You know what I'm saying? If you are out playing the $100 guy, man, trade him. Play the guy that's saving us money and that's actually playing better. I mean, that's that stuff you see where you have a 5-star player and he gets beat up by a walk-on. I mean,
well, that's why Bill Belichick is the best football coach ever. They say, right? You ever notice they don't never sign their guys to big long-term deals.
No, they don't.
I mean, and for whatever reason, it's been working. Is that the blueprint? Maybe not, or whatnot. But he don't give a shit who you is.
Right.
And
He did it, Tom Brady.
He got rid of Jamie Collins.
Jamie Collins is one. He just told Tom Brady he can kick rocks. So I mean, I think that's
Tom Brady 43, man. Jamie Collins was in his prime, bro.
But
Tom Brady, like this.
If I'm not mistaken, now Collins is back in New England, correct?
Yeah.
But
he went back.
They didn't give him the money though, now did they? They gave him on a louder deal. But anyway, that's another topic.
Once it was time, every time a guy is rising up, and then they come, hey, where that money at? They say it's over there somewhere else. He's not here. And then they'll pull somebody else in. Yeah, he's doing that.
That's the thing about the Patriots scheme. No, it is based off the scheme. They got to have a couple of houses that they always have, but at the same time, like, it's about having players that's smart and can do your system. That's how you keep winning. But when you base everything just off just how much talent you have, you're not going to win. Now, they met this the best, but, I mean, they win with it. You can't really argue with it other than Deflategate and using cameras. And,
hey, look, but let me change the subject since y'all been asking all the questions. I need to replay role reversal. My man Arthur up here. So Arthur, please tell me, why are you so hard on the Mississippi State athletes? I just want to know. I mean, but see, listen, are we really, I'm being honest, okay, are we really demanding, and are we at that level now that we expect for Mississippi State to be great or competitive at this stage in every sport? Because y'all don't cut them no slack. I'm just asking from a former athlete point of view. And I'm not saying wrong.
I don't think that I'm just so hard on athletes. Let me ask this. What athlete in particular do you think that I'm hard on?
Well, I'm not getting into all that. I just want to kind of know the reasoning or the thinking or whatnot. You know what I mean? I'm just
the wrong person why you hard on
this. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't think that I'm
the wrong
hard
person.
on them one way or the other.
But Jeremiah over there.
Yes, I've been asked before. I've been at weddings been asked, so I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have people charge me up at weddings.
I'm gonna go. I was going around the board. You know what I mean? But
now, if you want to be specific, it's only like a couple of athletes that I'm hard on. One of them cousin is on this podcast right now. Now, you know what I'm saying? With that one, I didn't, went into that a million times. I feel as though that she was, good for 40 points against Southeast Louisiana State University. But if we were playing against South Carolina, at the end of the game, when you think about things like that Final Four run that we had, you think about stuff like Itty Bitty having 40 points against Baylor. You think about Itty Bitty in the shot over UConn. You think about the next year with Ro Johnson and her shot against somebody that sent us somewhere.
So basically what you're saying is kind of faded away in the big lights, right?
Right.
This time. But I'll say one thing about that. You won't think that other locker room saying, "Hey, look, anybody can beat us, but that player ain't gonna beat us." You know what I mean?
Look who's shaking their head now. We just talked about that last week by Colin Hill.
I suspect. I mean, my thing with her was that there was like a lot of that volume shooting type of stuff going on. And don't get me wrong, I will never be the person to say that she was just horrible at anything like that. But at the same time, it's one of those things where, with me being a teacher, one of my things is that sometimes I look at my students and I'm looking at them and I'm like, well, you're good, but you can be so much more.
Right.
Now, she doesn't have very much in the way of criticism for me that last year when they moved her to power forward, because due to the fact that she was just in a different spot on the court, she couldn't take as many of those high volume shots. And so she had to be a little bit more selective. Now, let's see. Is there anybody else? Wes Ray from the baseball team played like he was a slap hitter in softball, but he was like 6'7" and 400 pounds. And I'm like,
bro,
why are you
Wes Ray offensive lineman, bro? You can't be talking about Wes Ray now.
I'm like, why were you laying down bunts? Like, what are you doing? IJ Reddy was trash, and I don't think anybody can dispute that. And I've always said that I will never forgive Coach Kroom. I felt as though that Coach Kroom had Quentin Culbertson playing out of position, but that's neither here nor there.
What should have been playing?
I always felt as though that he was a safety, but
Quentin Culbertson gained too much weight though. He
was Quentin Culbertson. You forgot we always on the same camp. That dude had bigger calf muscles.
You got to realize Quentin Culberson came in as a cornerback, bro.
Wait. You saying he won a linebacker? This was just basically what you're saying, though, right?
I think that he was a safety, but that's me. Y'all know more about football than I do. But
I'm gonna just say this: they moved him from the back end for a reason.
Well, I thought it was strange, even when he first came in, how they had him at corners. I used to walk by him on campus. I'm like, that dude's elite.
Remember this: when you recruit a kid, he played corner in high school. When you recruit him as a corner, you got to let him play corner because he gonna tell the next 5-star guy, "Hey man, they moved me, yada yada yada." So they got to get a kid every opportunity.
I was just trying to figure out what Cole was so committed to playing it, because that was one. I guess God had that confidence, but
you can't tell kids what he ain't, because if a kid played quarterback his whole life, then you couldn't tell Omar he want a quarterback, and then you move the receiver. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was a tough one.
I believe Omar was
so
a quarterback.
I was mad.
Omar was just playing, and I always get perturbed by the Omar thing. So
I think if he were in the spread system, he would have been okay.
I'm gonna go back to this Culbertson deal, and we move on. You remember though, he broke his leg his freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
All right. After he broke his leg, you got to think about it. Foot speed ain't gonna be there. and things of that nature. So that's when he got on the move from corner to safety and things and whatnot. And then Cub didn't have a very good work ethic, so he put on the weight, and therefore that's why he got moved in the box. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So what was that like? Even I don't want to just super backtrack, but like I remember it was one week they made a big transition where they moved Cub to linebacker. I guess he was playing on the outside at that time. Him, Gabe. I don't even remember who they ended up playing in the middle. They made a big shift that one week and just moved everybody around. What was up with that? Why they decided to make that big shift mid-season? I think that was before the Florida game, matter of fact.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. And y'all know this, man. Kids run it. Some kids built for this. When for me, they were saying, "Hey, look, man, we're gonna move you," or "Hey, we're gonna play this guy in front of you." I said, "Okay, bet." I could have cried or whined about it or go to his office every day, "Coach, why this?" I said, "Okay, if you're gonna cut my reps at defensive end, shit, move me inside." You know what I mean? So when I moved inside, I saw it for the taking. I didn't cry about it because, Mike Hurd had started getting a little more playing time and whatnot. That's my guy. I love him to death. You got Titus Brown on the scene. And I was a defensive end, remember? I'm like, damn, y'all recruiting them, move me inside. So I went in and took what I wanted inside. So I was a competitor. So move me inside, I'm going to make it work. Now, going back to that linebacker deal, I'm going to shoot you straight, man. There was a lot of crybabies in there, man. So, you recruit guys and you tell them they're going to play, and there you go. Some of the guys shouldn't have been on the field.
Well, Deljuan, let me ask you about somebody. Because I'm from Greenville, Mississippi, right?
Oh Lord.
And you mentioned my guy when you first started out. Like, do you still have any type of relationship with him?
I do not. I will say this: Mississippi State was not the place for him, and eventually he transferred or whatnot. And I'll say this: if I had half the talent that he had, man, y'all probably wouldn't be talking to y'all right now because I'd still be in the league right now. Probably on being on vacation somewhere, quarantine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't disagree with you because he was on the line with Quentin Groves, who did make it to the league, and watching him in high school, I was always like, I think Deverick's better. Like, I don't understand why everybody want Quentin so much as they want it's so much as that I understand why they want Quentin more than they want him. Because when you went to the game, that's like all you heard: Deverick Hampton on the play, Deverick Hampton on the play, Deverick Hampton on the play. And that's a guy I knew him since.
Mental. The game is more than physical, though. It's a mental game. Once again, you asked the question about Will Prosper. Man, Will had no business playing in some of the roles that he was playing, but he knew what to do. See what I'm saying? Now, your boy Hemp, hey, what you got? We don't put in 5 installs a day. You know what I mean? Tomorrow we're gonna put in 5 more installs. You know what I mean?
You still on that first one.
and look, Coach, if you can't trust him, you can't play him.
I can't trust you. Come on, sit over here with me.
Well, I guess there's a reason. Like, I guess I used to, some of my friends that played with State used to always say they go JUCO for a reason. So you got like guys that be those JUCO guys come in, don't be the sharpest.
Well, that's not all the way true because they say that I coach JUCO and they gave me that, "Coach, you're here for a reason." I'm like, okay, what's the reason though? Mm-hmm. Some of them couldn't have had the grades and some of them weren't good enough to play on that level. But also this though, once again, going back to the Omar situation, do what the kid can do. Mm-hmm. Do what the kid can do. Are they doing what the kids can do? You know what I'm saying? So therefore, man, Hemp should have played on Sundays in my mind. But he wasn't in the game mentally though. That's my opinion. Maybe he may call me a lie. He may want to fight me over there. But that's why that's why a lot of guys to be successful athlete, man, you got to be a student of the game also though. You know what I mean? It's a lot of distraction on the college campus, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, let me just say that I'm not overly surprised. I met Hemp when he was in the 4th grade. Well, I was in the 4th grade and he was in the 5th. But I'm gonna leave it there. Shout out to my guy though, and also rest in peace to Quentin Groves. So I'm gonna hand it back to Jeremy.
So I guess we kind of getting toward more to the end. It was good to talk football with you. I think it's kind of enlightening people to some of the things that really go on. Understand, like, y'all don't want to go back and start bashing guys about what happened when y'all played, or you gave us some pretty good info. Man, just kind of update everybody, like, just what you up to now. I guess we talked a little bit about that post football transition about what you up to now?
Man, I'm a real simple guy, man. I do parks and recs for a living. Try my best to be a good dad and a good husband. I don't know if I'm a good husband, but I'm a good dad for sure. You know what I mean? But man, I love my kids, and man, I'm a simple guy, man. Believe it or not, I officiate football, but man, I'm not a football guy as far as a student of the game anymore. Like, I'm not gonna say, hey, look, I gotta get home, I gotta turn the game on. It's NFL or college. Like, I really don't give a shit, to be honest with you, about football as far as me watching it. I keep up with it, but you're not gonna see me like, damn, get all analysis of the game and all that. I don't play what they call it, those fantasy leagues and all that. I don't do none of that, because for me, the game has took so much from me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, I really don't give a shit about football as far as watching and things and whatnot. I keep up with it. But man, I'm just a simple guy, man. Me and my wife, we stay in the country. Man, we got about 10 acres, man. We country folks, and I'm just simple life, man. You know,
10 acres, man. How you pull that off, man?
What's simple about
talk to your real estate agent?
What I'm saying, man, I'm just a simple guy. You know what I mean?
Just joking. We got you, man.
You know, but man, y'all tough on these folks, man. I really get on Facebook to see the entertainment, especially from my guy Arthur, and then, oh my goodness, y'all leave them other folks alone in them other groups.
I told you, man. I be telling them start going back and forth.
What is that? I'm trying to figure out how I'm the one who's hard on athletes. I'm like, I would have thought you would have had that conversation with Jeremiah.
You get everybody riled up. You know what I mean?
How do I barely say anything in the group. I barely say anything.
I'm gonna put it this way: you will never, you won't see me publicly, outside of the groups. You won't see me talk about these athletes. I do it in the hope, especially in our group. I do it in there because I feel like it's safe. I mean, for the most part, it has been safe. So we can just kind of getting our frustrations and stuff like that. You asked about, do we feel like they're supposed to be at a certain level? Mm-hmm. I'm one of those, I'm one of those hype guys. I ain't gonna lie, like, because everybody knows who my guy is on basketball. He's a
Reggie Perry.
Huh?
Reggie Perry?
Yeah, yes.
Talk to him about Reggie Perry or Jeremiah about Callan Hill.
Hey, but look.
Or Tyler Russell.
Jeremiah
not like Tyler Russell.
What's the deal with Callan Hill?
Oh, we're gonna
how much time you got?
Are you saying he's the best thing since sliced bread or not?
No. They're saying, because I'm hard on Colin, because I'm actually from Columbus, or
well,
most of my life I live in Columbus. I say that he's kind of a prima donna. I don't like his social media behavior. I think he's a little extra. He's a good football player.
Call him the next Bumpus.
I didn't say he's no next Bumpus. Like,
you say he's like Bumpus.
I'm not going to do that to him.
He's not even
He's said it numerous times, Jeremiah.
He's not in the top 10 conversation of running backs at Mississippi State.
Boom.
But that's not what we're talking about, though, Deljuan. The young man is talented, but Jeremiah has said he hasn't shown up in big games. That he hasn't shown up in big games. Like this past year,
I tend to agree with that.
But no one showed up in big games this year, though. I mean, we play.
All I'm gonna say is this: don't be showing me highlights of you jumping over Southern Miss or you running through Louisiana State or whoever they played that first game, Louisiana Lafayette. I don't want to see that. You put them numbers up against LSU and Alabama and Auburn. Then, hey, look, maybe that's the conference you play in, though. You know what I mean? Once again, man, I didn't give a shit what I did against Maine. But when we came to play LSU, Auburn, and Bama, all I kept saying is, hey, look, I play good against these guys. I got a chance to go to the league. That's who I want. I want the Alabamas. I want the Auburns. I want the LSUs. You know what I mean?
And when it comes to running backs that's on campus now, well, that was on campus last year, I was a Nick Gibson guy. Because I feel like Nick Gibson was more of a running back than, okay, I'm going to try to burn everybody around the corner. Collins still runs like high school. If y'all ever watch it, he's going to get it, and he's trying to get to that edge every time. I'm like, dude, it's not – you got to put that foot in the ground and get uphill, find your crease, find a hole or something. And I was more of a Nick Gibson guy. I mean, I just
so y'all got all the inside scoops, Arthur. So what happened with the kid from West Point? Why he stopped playing?
We were supposed to have him on, but coronavirus.
He was over in Italy, and so we were about to have him on, and so but they ended up having to travel back. So that's what we're working on right now.
That kid was 1,000 yards. Also, I'm the backup. I was the second fiddle.
No. No. We got a bunch of interviews lined up.
But no,
we were supposed to have him like last week.
That kid was a 1,000-yard rusher, and then come back. Now you telling me Kylan Hill better than him? I don't know about that, brother.
Yeah.
Now that's coaching. That one, I feel like this. That man did not. That Coach Moorhead did not know how to use the player that was on his team. He had 3 studs. He had Eriks. He had Nick Gibson. He had Kylan. He could have used them all, and he didn't. He wasted Eriks' senior year, and he wasted 2 years of Nick Gibson's career. And I'm a Kylan Hill fan now, but still, he could have had. We should have had. Well, all those running backs could have had over 700 to 800 yards rushing because we were a running team.
In my personal opinion, I think. Go ahead, AJ.
Okay, so Deljuan, I think that you might have been on a team with probably the most highly recruited and probably the best running back in Mississippi State history, Robert Elliott. What happened with him?
Come on, dude.
Actually, he wasn't.
Really?
I think he wasn't on the team then.
What?
I wasn't.
Robert Elliott got hurt though, boy.
He didn't get hurt. Stop.
I thought he was on a team with Robert Elliott. Man,
Elliott came in 07.
Man, some people ain't cut out for that life, man. And
is this true? I know you weren't quite on the team that year. I heard a story that Robert Elliott and even Marcus Green, when they first came in, that they didn't know how to take handoffs. I don't know if that got around to you, but someone told me they didn't even know how to take handoffs.
That's probably true. I never heard that, but that's probably true. You got to think about it. Y'all. Hey, you asked that Will Prosper question. I can promise you this: he knew his route tree. You know what I mean, and things of that nature. And you had other guys come in, and you tell them to run a route, and they like, can't play him. You know what I mean?
But you talk about Rob Elliott, though. To be honest, y'all talk about him. You got to think about he's a 6'2" running back and played 1 or 2-way football.
Mm-hmm.
You know, say what?
He wasn't that tall, was he?
He was 6. He was over 6 feet.
Yeah, he was in the 6 foot range. Now, the funniest story I heard, they said, I think I was talking to one of the other running backs. They said they actually was considering moving Booby to fullback. That was the discussion at first, to move Booby to fullback for Elliott.
That would have been the worst thing they ever did. If you're gonna get a 1A running back, you better be damn to Senzo Miller. All right,
go.
Yeah, that's now. When you say that you don't think that Kylan top 10, now I will say anytime I look at the Mississippi State highlights from like the 90s, like I be like, God damn, like where can we find some of them dudes? So they like so explosive, especially that J.J. Johnson guy. Oh my God.
That's when I became a Mississippi State fan, to be honest, which I still remember my brother came home from Blockbuster or something and said he met J.J. Johnson. I'm like, man, who is that? Like, I was a Nebraska fan.
I'm going to say Blockbuster. Hey, Senzo still my favorite. Miller Time, still my favorite running back.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when it was him and Dante Walker, and I guess he was around at that time, Kendrick, with them guys. So yeah. I know it's people that my brother-in-law went to school at that time too. He's never been a Dante Walker fan. Yeah.
It was Rainey, Dante Walker, JG, even though he played fullback, man, he was a beast when he had the ball in his hand. And yeah, I mean,
I heard Pig was the beast too. But
that moved Pig defensive back though. So
he didn't play. Yeah, he played. I think his freshman year, he played a little bit of offense, but after that,
they moved in the defense. So because you got to realize Mississippi State signed so many dudes who were athletes those 2 years. I mean, I was like, who gonna give them? What they gonna? I played in an NCAA football game. I'm like, well, who I'm gonna hand the ball off to? Like
okay.
All right, Ricardo. It all goes back.
Video game, Egypt.
Okay. All right, back to the original discussion.
But talking about this personnel, all these type of players, man, it all goes back to the type of coaching you got, the relationship they got with the coaches, and the way the kid carry himself. You know what I mean? Because a kid can get labeled right off the bat, and hell, he can be in the doghouse. Or you can have that company guy that's gonna be the eyes and ears for the coach, and he gonna get the playing time over a guy that I don't give a shit. I'm just here for me or whatnot. So all that type of stuff play a factor. And a lot of times as fans, we don't know what the hell going on, and we like, why he playing, why he ain't playing.
Speculate.
All that type of stuff go on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I inboxed a group that was Fabian Lovett, committed to Florida State.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
Now
I thought he was going to Ole Miss.
That kid, he from Olive Branch. I'm from Hernando. His high school coach, defensive line, played at Mississippi State with a walk-on, Mike Evans. Anyway, so I'm cool with Mike. I asked Mike what's the real deal. I ain't gonna get into that, but I'll say this, man. I don't think that news what did it for him, if you know what I mean.
Uh-oh.
I think it was just like
his way.
That's what I heard as well.
And I'm gone. I think that's what I've always thought, because I'm like, really? That's why you leaving?
I think that was his way out.
Right.
The kid could go on and play on Sundays and play 10, 12 years. But man, I'm hard on those defensive linemen. And he was a solid guy to be a redshirt freshman. But it ain't like damn, he leaving. We missing something big. You know what I mean? It's just my opinion. But the kid started 11 games as a redshirt freshman, so he's a player obviously. But I don't think that Noose was the real deal on that deal. You know what I mean? That's just my personal.
Yeah, I want you to get into just the controversial part of it. We had a big thing over that whole discussion over the news. As a player, how would you have responded to that? Like, how would you want to address the coach after something like that?
I can't give you I can't because you don't know what you're doing in the situation.
Right.
Because we thought we were gonna have an uprising when Darren Williams got removed from the team. But when time came, then nobody say shit. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, you don't never know until you know situations or whatnot. But this is the thing, though. We'll find this out week 1, week 2, where they play for him. I don't give a shit what we say about Kroom. We're going to play for him, though. You know what I mean? We're going to play for him. Or you're going to lay down for him. We were sorry, but we never laid down, though. You get what I'm saying? We played hard. Now, this Moorhead character, they laid down on him. They didn't play for him.
Yeah.
They didn't play for him.
And like just consistently, a lot of former players and people like that, they all have pretty much consistently said that they can watch the game and say they can tell they weren't playing for him.
Right.
I mean,
coming out the tunnel,
you can tell
the energy just wasn't there.
But they didn't play for him. I don't know what he did or how he was running his crew or whatnot. But for whatever reason, they didn't play for him.
Yes, and that's just, I guess, unfortunate. So I guess kind of the end, what are you kind of looking for at Mississippi State next year? I know you're kind of seeing like, I know you say you don't follow as much, like bringing in Leach, throwing the ball around. Like you said, you experienced what sorry offense looked like, I guess, your whole career at Mississippi State.
If this is the only thing I've been wanting to see in all the hype, I want to see them son bitches throw the ball 40 times a game. Because if that ever happened in maroon and white, I'm going to be shocked. So that's what I'm really looking forward to, is see if they really gonna throw the ball that much. And now you got to remember this: if they gonna throw the ball that much, you better be throwing some home runs, because not they're gonna be some damn 3 and outs, and the defense is gonna be on the field. So therefore, everybody worry about this offense. Everybody worry about this defense, because when you run that type of offense, you don't eat up the clock. So if you ain't eating up the clock, hey, I don't know what you got going for yourself.
You're gonna wear your defense out.
People got on Dan Mullen ass because he ran the football and he had a running quarterback, but Dan was eating up the clock on folks. So if you can win with not Tyler Russell, what's the other kid, the
Chris Ref.
Chris Ref, man, I'm a Chris Ref fan. I don't give a shit what nobody say. That kid beat Ole Miss 3 times. He never lost against Ole Miss. And the kid was a winner. And so if Dan did that with fucking Chris Ref, what could he do with Omar? You know what I mean?
He paid that 180 and had Cam Newton. Oh.
I got a story. I got a real story on that, but I can't share that over the airwaves.
But we can share that off the air.
We'll end the episode and then we can talk about it afterwards.
Because I heard the real scoop, and I heard it from a credible source of what the real deal, why we really didn't get Cam.
AJ.
Hey, yeah, let me go ahead and
Let's
wrap.
go ahead.
Hey,
No, it ain't. All I'm gonna say is this. Auburn really wanted them. Bottom line, they really wanted them. And you got to remember, I was in Carolina, Cam rookie year, and so and I had to do some fact checking, and it was true. All I'm gonna say is Auburn really wanted Cam.
All right, so as we said, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this episode of From the Dog's Mouth, because I'm gonna stop the recording. I have to hear this. So, I can't say praise the Lord and go Dogs because Coach Vic abandoned us. But what I will say is,
no, what you will. I want the comments on the new lady coach on Nikki.
Oh, okay.
I love her.
I like the hire. I love the hire. Now, somebody told me that she has a slight reputation for being unapproachable. And
what did you hear this? Like you holding out on us.
With her being a come on, man. I got sources. Anyway, but so I was like, well, strong black coach. I was like, most coaches who are successful are assholes. Gino Oriyama is known that he calls recruits and be like, so are you coming to UConn or not? And if they be like, no, he be like, well, have fun getting your ass kicked by us for the next 4 years. Then coach at Baylor, you can tell that she kind of shady. Pat Summitt looked like the type of person who will tell you to go to hell in such a way that you look forward to the trip. And Dawn Staley, like I say, she kind of reminds me of a woman who hangs out with like the guys in a 1990s hood movie or something like that, which, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but she has a very stern look on her face. So I'm
what do
all
all of them have in common?
They're winners.
Okay, what's your opinion over Jeremiah?
I love it. I think we need like having a former great as a player. I can't remember last time Mississippi State had a coach that was a great player at the college level. I mean, especially in a sport like basketball, I think sometimes football seems like that don't always work out when you have a great player as a coach because, just sounding like some of the stuff even you were saying, you were a guy that was a highly rated guy. So I know you said they coach like you would have coached yourself. You were a talented guy, so it was kind of hard to coach guys who do sensible stuff. It's kind of like I remember Magic Johnson was talking about when he became the coach of the Lakers. And I read his book about it and everything. He said players that did stupid stuff. And he said they would do things like shoot threes and they couldn't shoot threes. He was like, why you just don't stop taking threes? This is just simple stuff. But I think having a player like her, when we got a Rakia Jackson and a player like that, a great player is going to know how to get the most out of her because she know how they click. So that's what I'm kind of looking forward to. Coach Vic, it is odd when you see some of these great coaches, these 5'7", 5'8" guys that ain't probably no more than play high school football and they be great coaches, but it's something different about having somebody that really played the game and understand it. So I think I'm looking forward to seeing that just from a Mississippi State standpoint, having somebody like that as one of our coaches. I'm kind of excited about it. Hopefully it works out where she get us over the hump and we actually beat South Carolina, but I guess we got to wait and see.
This is Derek here. I really agree with Jeremiah. I echo everything that Jeremiah said because outside of football, women's basketball is my second favorite sport. So I was ecstatic about this hire. She checks all the check marks. She was all ACC,
Thanks for stealing
all
my
American.
Another day, but
She's a basketball Hall of Famer. What's that, Jeremiah?
Thanks for stealing my analysis from the other day. Keep going.
Stealing your analysis.
That's literally how I put it the other day. But anyway, keep going.
I ain't stole nothing from you, homie. Stealing your analysis. Man, I wish my camera was working. I'd give you the finger upside your head.
Derek say you can.
But go ahead, Deljuan. I'm done.
Hey, so this is the key though. Are they gonna be patient with her?
Ooh,
are the fans gonna be patient with her, you mean?
Why would they not be patient with her, Deljuan?
Supposedly she got a loaded team coming back. She only losing one starter, correct?
Now, wait a second. We didn't ask these tough questions to Mike Leach, so why are we asking?
Because you know why, and that's my fear for her, is because she's not going to get the comfort, or she's not going to get the leeway of nobody else.
Do you think they're going to do her like they did Coach Kroom and Coach Ray?
They both suck, man. Come on,
Yeah,
like let's be real.
I-
Let's be
The thing
real.
is, her resume.
Wait a minute. On that Kroom era, if those kids don't get in trouble that spring,
Right.
coming off an 8-win season, they win another 8-9 games that following year. He lost 7 starters in the spring. And you telling me you can't recover from that?
Yeah, I still remember when that happened. I remember that was my last year on campus, and I remember we were just hanging out at my apartment, and I remember they said some football players were shooting on campus. I was like, man, I hope there's nobody good involved. Literally on my exact words.
I just don't. I mean, I hope she lights out. I hope she get the best out of him, but I don't believe she's going to be afforded the
time.
The time.
To what you're saying, I think this will be the most.
Started from scratch, literally.
Yeah. Yes.
How they literally started from scratch. Like
She's probably literally gonna have the most pressure on her of any Mississippi State coach coming in. I know Moorhead had a lot of talent, but he didn't have this type of talent. He didn't have 5 stars up and down the roster. This is a national championship squad.
Man, he had a number 1 ranked defense, bro.
Huh?
He pitched away the number 1 ranked defense.
But it wasn't all around. The offense was trash. So, I mean, you got to look at it like he didn't have the roster compared to what Coach Pinson has. They won last year. We're a national championship program. The football team wasn't there. So, as I told y'all with Moorhead, I think he did not the best job. But at the end of the day, people were upset that Moorhead, we were a middle-of-the-road program before he came, and we were a middle-of-the-road program while he was at State. So, I'm trying to figure out what people were so upset about. Now, he jacked up, but it ain't like he fell off to that level.
That one said it. They laid down. I mean, you can look. I was at the game at the Superdome. Man, it wasn't no. I was expecting the Bulldogs to come out there talking fired up. I mean, I've seen it on TV come out the tunnel and just whoosh. I mean, I'm getting inboxes from people from other games like, man, look how they come out the tunnel. There's no excitement. Them boys, like Deljuan said, lay down. But I have to do a question before we get out of here. Y'all are there to play sports. You're there to play sports, win, and try to get to the league. Why not just say, you know what? We're going to play for us and not him.
You won't last. You won't make it because they coming in preaching team. Name on the jersey, front of the jersey is more important than the back. But you got to think about it. Once again, I told y'all, we were not a very good football team. So therefore, we go back to the dorm, we go back to our apartment or whatnot. We got it made up. Man, I'm gonna looking out for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna play within the scheme. Like say I was talking about that 3 technique and nose guard type stuff. I don't give a shit about them boys going to get on Cub. I gotta go make a play because I'm trying to get my stats, and that equals to kills. That equals to losses. So therefore, you can be that type of guy. And it may work out for you, but guess what the coach gonna do? He gonna badmouth you when the scouts come around,
or when the recruits come around,
But it's really gonna
the recruits.
Well, you don't get.
Recruiters.
But he gonna badmouth you to the scouts or whatnot. He's not a team guy. Yada 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 yada. So you going from having a draftable grade to not having. Free agent grade or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? A coach can make you or break you on the next level, trying to get in the door. Hint, talk about Willie Evans. Ain't no way Willie shouldn't have. Hell, the man led his SEC in sacks. But I can promise you this, he did not get a good report from Sylvester Kroom. I can promise you that.
Ooh. Kind of touching on that, not just coaches. Another friend of mine, said he maybe just take this opportunity to talk to them young athletes, those guys that's going through the process. You know, I hear about, sometimes, of course, the coaches are going to get those reports on you. But another friend of mine, he said he counseled those guys talking about how you should treat your girlfriends, the trainer, the person that's the janitor in the building. Like, kind of speak to maybe some of those younger athletes while we got this opportunity about how you should treat those people. I heard that can really make or break the two because they will go talk to them too.
Well, back in the day, yeah, you are right. They did a lot of research or vetting you far as see how you treat the trainers, the people in the equipment room and all that type of stuff. But nowadays, it's more of a social media type of thing or whatnot. If you're finna invest in something, you want to know what you're investing in. So if you invest in a person, what type of player is he? What type of person he is or whatnot. You don't want a turd on your team or whatnot. But we all know this though. They put up with turds when the turd can play though. You know what I mean? So if he can play, that's the more they can put up with or whatnot. But also we got to remember we talked about earlier about what type of locker room guy he is. How much influence does this guy have over the locker room? So if that guy got a lot of influence over the locker room, you got to do one or two things. You got to let him do what he do, or you got to get him out of there. Plain and simple. Plain and simple.
Wow.
So that's what it's all about. The guy with the Texans, the receiver, they gave him away. He had control of the locker room. The coach is gonna lose the locker room, so they had to get rid of him.
Wow, real. And it's people. I live in Houston, so it's some people for real, real upset over that.
Well, that coach won't be there long. So
like after that, the fans pretty out on him right now.
He's the coach and the GM, so they got to start all the way over.
They better hope they can keep D. Watson. That's what I'm saying. So do you think that's gonna hurt Colin Hill? I guess since we are talking about that, like his social media behavior, do you think that affected? He led the SEC in rushing. He should have been the guy. I can't remember the last guy that led the SEC in rushing and didn't go pro.
His on the field work gonna hurt him, not no damn social media.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's not a draftable guy. I'm just speaking from a football point of view. You know what I mean? The kid is good, but I'm telling you, man, somebody say he don't show up in big games. I mean, that may be a little true. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Well, the whole team didn't show up, but,
Well, listen, I can tell you this. His social media account ain't gonna play a factor in that. He a drama queen. He starved for attention on social media. You know what I mean? Sometimes I want to inbox some of these kids and just be like, hey man, shut up, play football, go about your business. You know what I mean? Especially the linebacker there now. What's his name? 40.
Harold
What's his
Thompson?
name? Yeah.
Harold Thompson.
Yeah.
E40, I guess they call him.
Yeah, he read too much media hype last year. He coming to this past season or whatnot. The kid didn't look the same. He didn't play the same. You know what I mean? The year before last, he played with a lot of piss and vinegar. And he come back this year. He worried about what he gonna put on Twitter after the game. You know what I mean? That kid pissed away a lot of money, man. He pissed away a lot of money this past year.
Yeah, and I guess I ain't gonna lie, I kind of defended him because I felt like he didn't have Willie Gable behind him, and he couldn't really depend on the other guy beside him. We're not gonna. Now we can get into butts there, but
oh yeah, you could talk about the other guy now. He's not a bulldog, right? You can talk about him all you want to.
Are you talking about 6?
No, we talking about
no. The other guy. That one that took that money from on the other guy that wasn't there.
Oh,
because the other one was caught up in Tudergate.
But what's up with your reaction to 6? What was your reaction? What you?
the kid a player.
Yeah. Willie Gay's a player. I'm talking about the other one, the one who's the top quarterback in the country.
Well, they should have cut ties with him after all that stuff hit the fan.
They just said another one of your former teammates who I'm friends with had relayed to me before he came that we probably should have expected this. I'll just say that much.
Well, they should have cut ties with that kid. That's just my opinion. He had
too much going on, huh?
Had too much baggage, and he wasn't worth it. That's just my opinion.
Right.
So
Yeah.
So hey, I would have made him switch positions and forced him out the door. So that's what I would have done.
Wow. Oh, so that's what they do.
Everything, right?
Pull the bird.
When a position switch happens, we know what's going on.
If they switch a kid positions, you can guarantee he's gonna transfer. That's how they get him out of there.
Remember Hemp? They moved Hemp from D-line to O-line, and you're like, man, nobody got time for that.
And how long was it before Hemp got out of there?
It wasn't long at all. Next thing I knew, they said he was working at a grocery store in Greenville. I shouldn't have said that.
But see, but listen though, I'm changing the subject totally now. Those Delta kids need to learn how to go to the Mississippi Valley. They need to learn how to go to Alcorn or whatnot.
No, Valley. You said it right. School first. Still in the Valley.
But what I'm saying is they're not going to get a fair shake at these big Division I schools. Ari Nelson should have never came to Mississippi State.
What about them Thompson twins? Do you remember them? I mean, I know that's before your time.
I know them twins. Well, that's a different. They linemen. They probably could have made their way. And they played or whatnot. But see, they had health issues too, though. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Now that I don't. I know one of them transferred, and then Big Birch, my frat brother, You know, he transferred from
Well,
state.
you know why he transferred?
Oh,
Birch
we
was in-
want to get the real on that.
Well, Birch he had some off field issues.
Yeah.
Birch should have been playing on Sundays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He should have been playing on Sundays, and that's the bottom line. He was one of the best offensive linemen. He had the chance to be one of the best offensive linemen come through Mississippi State. He had off the field issues. He should have been playing on Sundays. That's my opinion. He wound up going to the Valley. But what I'm saying though is those kids go to Mississippi Valley or places like that, they ain't got to worry about competing with other guys that's coming in as so-called 4 stars and 5 stars and whatnot. Every reason go to Valley, he the SWAC player of the year right off the rip. You know what I mean? Hell, you go to Valley, you can be 4 times SWAC player of the year. You're going to get an opportunity regardless. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. You got to learn how to do that. You know what I mean?
I think you've let us know on the real. I would say we know the guy who might be the reason why Richard Birch didn't in the field, but I'm not going to get into that.
Snitcher,
we know the guy.
Snitcher, man. Yeah, that's me.
Y'all take it easy on these folks on social media, man. But I mean, y'all got to keep me entertained. I don't never comment, but you can best believe I'm watching and listening though.
Oh yeah, you have to have you back on, man. This is one of the best interviews ever. I mean, you told a lot of good stories, and this is what this segment is about. You know, getting those. Jeremiah, you know what, Jeremiah? You know what? I wish I could punch through the screen. I would break your glasses.
Hey, look, leave the pride of Greenville alone, okay?
I'm not from Greenville.
I'm the one from Greenville.
I'm from Jackson.
Leave you alone.
I'm talking about Jeremiah.
Jeremiah say he from Columbus.
Oh shit!
But he went to Caledonia, the Confederates.
Hey, we got a first rounder, so bump what you talking about.
No comment.
Y'all think he was the first rounder?
Derek.
Sherrod.
I'm saying, y'all think he was the first rounder?
Oh,
I ain't got no comment.
On paper,
Well, as far as his draft position, he was.
he got drafted as a first
Yeah.
round.
He played out of position. He won offensive tackle. He was a guard.
But he got hurt though, right?
I'm gonna stop because I'm familiar with the family, so I'm gonna stop.
I love the Sherrods. But what I'm saying is the kid played out of position. He was not an offensive tackle. He was an offensive guard. He should have been playing guard. But the thing is, we'll never know his true potential because he had a nasty freak injury.
That was crazy.
And then he never, then the injury, it went from an injury to some infection type stuff. Or whatever, you know what I mean?
When I say they had multiple surgeries after that, that was very unfortunate. So I remember that game. He actually was playing well, and then he got hurt.
Yeah, but one thing about it though, he got his pension, and he got that insurance and all that stuff, so he good on that or whatever.
Yeah.
You know? So,
hey, Mom said Desmond probably gonna send you Desmond or Derek probably gonna send you an inbox.
I don't see Deljuan backing down if they do.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? This guy here speaking his mind, Before I was rudely interrupted, that's why this segment's called From the Dog Mouth.
First of all, Dez.
Shut up, Jeremiah.
I have never been afraid of Dez. When he played tight end, I had him fucking terrified of me. We was teammates with the Texans, so we tight. I never played with his brother. I just gave my opinion on his brother. His brother was a hell of a college player. I just thought they played him out of position,
Yeah.
Shut up, Jeremiah.
It'll take both of them if they want to come to me though. No, I'm hyping now. I'm lying, man. I'm lying now.
This is fun, man. You gotta come back.
We need to get Desmond on here one day.
Both of them. You get both of them on here, Jeremiah. Since you got
Jeremy.
I got you. I'll holler at both of them, see if they can come on. They can respond to the comments. No, that ain't that bad. I don't think. Desmond ain't.
Desmond will be a good interview because, he played tight end and they screwed him around. He played fullback. They asked him to do a lot of different stuff. So he'll be a good interview.
Yeah, I remember when he broke his nose when they moved him to fullback. He was like, bump that.
He had no business playing there. But what I'm saying, he can give you the experiences playing with a stacked tight end room or whatnot, playing with Butler and all them, all them underperforming tight ends we had. You know what I mean?
This dude is great. And he talking about me being hard on the play.
I'm throwing
I know you say y'all ain't like the offense. Good Lord.
I'm throwing shots at them, man. Them all my guys.
I mean, Butler was good though. He was my favorite tight ends.
Deljuan, like I guess.
Hey, chill out there, one.
Do what?
Come on,
Chill
man.
out.
Really?
Chill out.
Butler
You
was
be
good. Butler was good. When they threw him the ball, he did catch some, bitch. I tell him, I can't say that. He did. He wasn't gonna block nobody though. He wasn't gonna block nobody though. That's why Dan got a lot of playing time. Dan got to do dirty work.
I'm actually amazed that all of them are so cool. I'm like, how did y'all all play the same position and y'all cool with each other after all that? Like, y'all,
They ain't got no killer mentality. That's why.
Oh my God.
Butler should be playing baseball somewhere. That's the problem.
That's probably true too. But they were cool like that because they all on South Hell. No, I'm gonna give them offensive players a hard time though.
A lot of truth is said in jest though.
No, they was pretty good though. No BS though. They was a good group though. They might be glad I was 300 pounds. Hell, I could have played tight end.
But you had the speed too.
I could have, but
Wow.
I was just an overhyped player that was thankful and good enough to play a couple downs. But it was all good and all fun though.
I think we might need to end for Deljuan getting more trouble.
Yeah, man. I
You're
mean,
gonna have half the Chrome era players email messages.
but let me go ahead and say that that's why we have this segment called From the Dog's Mouth, so that we can get these conversations from players.
That's what I've been saying. But Jeremiah,
That's what.
Really,
Nah,
you
that's
don't
why.
think he's doing that to be funny. I don't think you're getting it, but okay.
No, guys, I enjoyed it, man.
It was awesome.
I actually appreciate you guys, giving it from another point of view. Everybody can't be a Brandon Walker and have that type of platform, and a Robbie Falk or whoever all these other so-called media guys and whatnot. I applaud y'all for giving a different point of view, giving guys like me to share a little bit of whatnot, man. Y'all keep up the good work, man.
I appreciate you.
Thanks for coming on, man. This was probably the most fun from the dog's mouth we've had. So
exactly.
Well, let me know if y'all trying to get in touch with somebody else, and maybe they can call me out on some things and whatnot. And
I got called out at weddings, so I know.
The truth hurts sometimes, man.
Yes. Man, when you get out on my dogs, I'm like, I'm gonna tell you.
I want to be a fly on the wall when he see Chad Bumpus in real life again.
You got on Twitter once. We had a Twitter beef once.
I want to see y'all in person.
Like Chad Bumpus, like 5'10", 190. What are you gonna do to me?
What that mean? You don't think you get beat up by somebody smaller than you?
Wait that, Jeremiah. Let's lay no cap. You know what I'm saying? I know you. I know you know you. Your last fight you had with your brother, I'm not gonna speak on how that went. The last fight that you had before that was against this dude called Bird.
We're not gonna get into that. We're not trying to be.
Get into it.
Any dude named Bird, you could imagine how big he was. This dude was like Ken height.
Stop.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna leave it there.
They in the wrong business if they can't take the criticism. They in the wrong business. Or I don't give a shit what y'all say about me, because at the end of the day, in my eyes, I had a successful career.
You did.
I'm gonna be like, damn, that's fucked up. But at the end of the day, I can care less what y'all.
You go retire to your 10 acres and hunt the animals that's there. You go process all of them, and you social distancing.
There you go. But no, serious guys, it was fun and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
So, man, I look forward to listening and being entertained on social media with you guys.
All right. Well, that's the end of our episode for today. Like I say, Vic Schaefer gone, so I can't say praise the Lord and go Dogs, but what I can say is, hey, bye.